On the fourth day before Christmas, an orator said to me, "Be clear, is your presentation about information or inspiration? Each requires a different call to action." What did I mean by that? Well, what is the purpose of your presentation? Are you giving people information? Kind of where I'm going with this one. If it's information, it could be something that you are telling them about your latest product, your latest service. It could be you're on a podcast advertising what you're doing. You could have a book coming out. You could have a program you're selling. It could be anything like that. You're giving information that you want somebody to do something with. Now, the call to action after something like that could be, here's my book. You can get it from XYZ vendors. It could be, here's my new program. It could be, get on a call with me. Let's talk some more. Let's have an introduction. Let's see if you want to work with me or I want to work with you, to be honest. There will be a specific action at the end of this information. Now, I'm giving you some information here, and I'm asking you to consider doing things differently if you're not already doing this. If you are, crack on. The alternative is it could be inspiration as the MO, the reason for you giving your presentation. Now, if it's inspiration, you could be talking about a number of different things, usually getting people to think about something slightly differently. And the call to action from that will be to invite people to, on the back of what you've been saying, consider doing something differently, thinking something differently. Are you inviting them with a change of behavior? You may have been inspiring them to release some weight. We're coming up for the January, oh, golly, I've stood on the scales and what am I going to do this coming year time? That could be your inspiration. In which case, you're inviting them to think about something slightly differently. What are you going to invite them to do? But whether you're doing an information or an inspiration, your call to action is one thing. Just give them one thing to do. Because if you give them alternatives, then say, well, do I do this? Do I do that? And as soon as you have that internal Q&A, the internal, what do I do? Do I do this? Do I do that? I'm not really sure. You've lost them. One thing and one thing only is your call to action. So to recap, whether you're giving information or inspiration, you have one call to action. And all your call to action thoughts are wound up in what you're saying in between. Do you remember when we had day one and we were saying about if you've got a point to make, pile drive it in? That's where you put your sticky phrases in all the way through. Because by the time you get to your call to action, if your call to action has been your sticky phrase all the way through, you have really primed your audience to take action. Can you see how important that is? Purpose, call to action, and everything in the middle makes sense. Trust this has been useful to you. Come back tomorrow for another one. Bye from me.